So in one of my previous videos, I paired this GTX 1650 low profile with a HP small form factor desktop, but unfortunately that ended up causing a bottleneck due to the i5 2500 CPU not being able to keep up with this bad boy. So today, I'm hopefully going to fix that. Introducing the fix, aka a HP ProDesk 600 G2, featuring an i5 6500 4-core 4-threaded CPU with a base of 3.2 GHz and a boost of 3.3 GHz on all cores. Just beside that is 12GB of DDR4 2133 MHz RAM. I have no idea why 12, but it's better than 8, but not as good as 16. Either way, I'll take it. We also have a 500GB WD Blue 7200 RPM hard drive, a measly 200W power supply that is surprisingly 80+ platinum certified, but will be enough to run the 1650, and finally, of course, the star of the show, a CD-DVD drive, which is most important. A great thing about these small form factor PCs is they always seem to come with a CD key sticker on the side of the case you can use to activate Windows or an already installed operating system, which is always helpful for keeping the budget down. Speaking of budget, this PC only cost me $202.57 after winning it in a bidding war on eBay, and my advice for picking up one similar for yourself would be patient. It can sometimes take a while for a good deal to pop up. For the graphics card, I have a 4GB GTX 1650 low profile from Gigabyte, which I picked up brand new during an eBay sale a while ago now for 215 Aussie, but given the current world situation, you definitely won't find them for this price at the moment. I also decided to chuck in a 256GB Silicon Power SSD I got for 38 Aussie from Amazon for faster boot times and maybe a game or two, except Warzone, that's never going to fit. Adding all that up is 455.57, which isn't a lot to get yourself a decent entry-level gaming PC that's actually quite portable and better yet, no subscription service to play online. If you do have any compatibility concerns, such as is your power supply sufficient enough or will this graphics card fit, go back and watch my previous video on small form factor PCs that I'll have linked in the description, as I cover a lot of information that might be helpful to you. On that note, I won't be answering any compatibility questions down in the comments, so if neither of these videos answer your questions, then I'm sorry, you might have to do a bit of research for yourself. One question I've been asked a couple of times that I didn't cover before is it possible to put this setup in a more traditional case? And the answer is yes, but it does require a bit of case modding. You may have to drill your own standoff holes into the case, as these small form factor motherboards don't usually use the standard layout a normal motherboard would, and some things within the case may interfere with the motherboard due to its size or shape. Another thing that will complicate fitting it into a normal case is that the power supply isn't made to suit those types of cases, so it may be difficult to get a somewhat secure mount. Right, now that's been said, it's time to install the extra bits and get to benchmarking. Let's do this! All games were benchmarked in 1080p with the settings listed under the game's title, and the GPU boost clock speed generally fluctuated between 1815 and 1860 MHz while gaming. Some other benchmarks I like to run are Cinebench R20, in which I got a score of 1,315 points. Up next is a 1 minute 4K 30fps B-RAW edit render test in DaVinci Resolve that I rendered out in 6 minutes exactly, which isn't great, so maybe don't aim for this CPU if you plan on doing heavy workloads. For temperatures, the CPU idled at 38 degrees Celsius, reached 74 degrees after 20 minutes of AIDA64, and 75 during a CPU and GPU combined test. Speaking of the GPU, it idled at 30 degrees Celsius, reached 75 degrees after 20 minutes of Heaven 4.0, and 78 degrees during the combined test. In conclusion, I'm actually a little disappointed in this CPU as it was close to or did bottleneck a few games due to its weak all-core boost of only 3.3 GHz, even though it is advertised as 3.6 GHz max boost, but that is only under a single core load, which in all honesty is a bit shit. As I said before, if you are looking to get yourself a setup like this, just be patient and watch the market. Keep looking at places like the Facebook Marketplace or local sales groups, eBay, or your country's version of Gumtree, Craigslist, or Let Go. At the end of the day, if you are looking for a cheap entry into PC gaming that requires very little knowledge or tinkering, then why not slap a low-profile GPU into a small form-factor PC, install the latest graphics driver from AMD or Nvidia, download a game or two, and you're good to go. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, and if you really enjoyed it, please consider subscribing for more PC builds and other content in the future. If you have a suggestion, question not related to compatibility, or just some criticism, leave a comment, and thank you very much for watching.